Growing up, I had often heard of the American dream. You know, the whole pull yourself up by the bootstraps and as long as you work hard enough, success will follow. Well, unfortunately, this American dream concept doesn't apply to everyone. Most will work hard their entire life and never become the American dream success story. I know someone who, despite life's curveballs, was able to defy the odds. Through hard work, dedication, and maybe even luck, he's made this myth of the American dream his reality. His name is
Rafael Aboites.
Rafael was born on March 25, 1974, in a small town called El Sabino, in Guanajuato, Mexico. He describes the poor living conditions of his town.
The streets were not paved, they were just dirt and rocks. Houses were made out of brick, most of them not even painted, but it was a nice little town.
Rafael, being the baby of the family, grew up with 5 older brothers and an older sister, a total of 7 children, and that's only counting the ones that survived their infancy. I asked Rafael to describe his relationship with his father growing up.
I just didn't feel like I have a father, and he was always like drinking with his friends. He was always here in the U.S.
In Mexico, it is common for fathers to leave to find work in the United States, and in Rafael's case, his father would only come back to visit his family once a year. Fortunately, his relationship with his mother was a great one.
She was a really nice person with us and with other people. She was warm, and I don't remember her have to put me on discipline ever. And she was also, I would say, she was quiet. She was a very quiet person.
Sadly, when he was just 8 years old, his mother passed away.
She was young. She was 42 years old when she passed away. She had a heart disease, and then she was going through heart surgery, and she couldn't resist the surgery.
After his mother's death, Rafael's father and 4 oldest brothers immigrated to the United States while leaving Lupe, his 13-year-old sister, to care for him and their other brother Ricardo.
Well, my sister pretty much took care of us while she goes to school at the same time. I would see her as my mother because I was still young at the time when she started taking care of me, and she looked after me ever since.
Many years later, Lupe graduated from high school and decided it was time for her to go to the United States in search of a better life. In doing so, she left behind both Rafael and Ricardo. When she left, she promised in a year's time she would send for them to come to the United States. She kept her word. In 1989, Rafael began his new life in the United States and even graduated from Vallejo High School. After years of suffering in Mexico due to poverty and the death of his mother, life in the U.S. seemed to be going well. Unfortunately, life would throw yet another curveball his way.
I felt a lump on one of my testicles, and I went to the doctor, and they told me that I had cancer on one of them. I felt devastated. I thought I was going to die.
After the discovery of his cancer, he immediately underwent surgery to remove as many tumors as possible. He describes his difficulties after surgery.
They did a CT scan to make sure I didn't have any more tumors, and they found a couple more somewhere in my near my kidneys. And then I went on chemotherapy treatment. It was hard, it's a tough treatment, but I was able to go through it. I was afraid of it, but it's not as bad as people said it was. I used to work at the same time.
Today, Rafael is a research and development technician for a medical device company. He travels to South Africa or Germany at least once a month to train physicians on how to use these medical devices. He's come a long way from being the orphan boy with his sister as his mother's replacement. He's a cancer survivor, a husband, and a father. I believe that through his hard work ethic, love, and support from his sister and wife, and maybe even some luck, Rafael is a rare example of the American dream. He's also my uncle, but more importantly, he's my hero.